When people begin to experience this symptom, they usually describe at least one or all of the following: feeling an overall lack of mental clarity, finding it difficult to concentrate on anything, even for short periods of time, feeling confused, feeling like they are stupid, feeling disorientated, spaced out, or unreal, being forgetful, and sometimes even feeling like your head is going to explode. Today, I want to explore what causes anxiety-related brain fog. The short answer is stress, but there is a lot more to it than just that. First of all, what usually happens is we engage in a fearful behavior. Fearful behavior can involve imagining a bad outcome or worst case scenario in an upcoming situation or event. These kinds of behavior trigger the release of stress hormones into the body, and we are left feeling anxiety. The feeling of anxiety makes us feel uncomfortable, and we try our best to get the anxious feelings to go away, which only serves to create more stress. We then either nervously perform in the situation or avoid it altogether. The stress hormones in our body then creates symptoms. In this case, your brain fog. This is basically a result of the fear center of our brain overriding the rational thinking part of our brain. If we were about to be attacked by a bear, it would not serve any useful purpose to be able to think clearly, standing there trying to logically deduct whether this bear was a threat or not. At this time, the amygdala, aka the emotion and fear center of your brain, will instinctively kick in and override the prefrontal cortex, the logical and rational part of your brain, and also the hippocampus, the area of the brain responsible for learning and memory. The more imminent the threat, the quicker this entire process happens. If our amygdala did not suppress our prefrontal cortex and hippocampus, we would continue to logically weigh up the situation. And instead of reacting quickly, we would continue to stand there, subsequently resulting in us getting seriously injured or killed by the bear. This is one situation where you need your instincts to kick in at lightning speed so you can get out of there as quickly as possible. Assuming you want to live, thinking clearly at this point will not be in your best interests. Brain fog can also be exacerbated by ingesting sugar. At least it did for me. I am sure you have often experienced feeling brain fog after a long and stressful day, but you still need to keep yourself going. And in order to get more energy, you instinctively go to the fridge for a soda, some chocolate, or some other high sugar source. While this temporary spike in your blood sugar makes you feel more alert in the moment, it will inevitably lead to your blood sugar dropping, resulting in more brain fog. If we reach for the sugar again when we experience this drop in our blood sugar, we are creating a vicious and repetitive cycle of our blood sugar going up and down and up and down. The more we do this, the more we will experience inconsistent moods, mood swings, and of course, more brain fog. Okay, so what can I do to eliminate brain fog, you might ask? As our anxiety and elevated stress is the primary cause of our brain fog, we need to first reduce our anxiety and stress. We need to do this by telling ourselves that the event or situation we are fearful of will go well, and that if it doesn't, that we can handle any possible outcomes. We can even have an attitude of welcoming the anxiety. I personally like to use the mantra, "Come on, bring it on." Fearing your anxiety is the same as feeding it. If you welcome it, you are in fact helping to disarm the anxiety's power over you. Reducing our fearful behavior over time will reduce the amount of stress hormones we are releasing into our body. Because we have reduced the amount of stress hormones being released into our body, the frequency and intensity of our symptoms, in this case the brain fog, will also reduce and eventually fade away. Okay, back to the sugar. On top of this, what can really help is to reduce our sugar intake as much as possible. We also need to reduce the amount of times we spike our blood sugar. The less times we spike our blood sugar, the less we will experience the inevitable blood sugar crash, resulting in more even blood sugar levels. The more even our blood sugar is, the less stress we are placing on our body, which will subsequently help to improve our overall stress and reduce the frequency and intensity of our brain fog. It will also help to reduce and perhaps eliminate stimulants such as caffeine, alcohol, and tobacco. Believe it or not, but all these stimulants create significant stress for our body. You will probably feel a withdrawal resulting in more anxiety temporarily, but over time, reducing or eliminating them will ultimately result in a more relaxed body and mind. I found it helpful to reduce one at a time, and I personally no longer drink alcohol or smoke tobacco. However, I do still enjoy the occasional cappuccino. At the end of the day though, it's about discovering what works best for you. The more we reduce our anxiety and stress levels in any area of our life, it will have a positive impact on how we feel, eventually leading to a low level of stress, with brain fog no longer being an issue in our life. If you want to take things a step further, you can really start practicing thinking logically about even very small areas in your life. The more you can practice this, the more your prefrontal cortex will suppress the amygdala, resulting in feeling calmer, feeling more assured, with an increased ability to be more logical and overall less stress. The less stress, the less brain fog. If you would like to share what has helped you with your brain fog, please feel free to leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.